Hello, everybody, and welcome to Purple Sector Racing League's Division One Formula One race. Thank you very much for joining me here today. It has been quite some time. It's been 2 weeks since our last race, and today I'm joined by our director of motorsport, Money the Merchant. Formula One race. Thank you very much for joining me here today. It has been quite some time. Yes, 100% agree. Good luck to all of our drivers. It's definitely a very, very difficult circuit, so it's going to be quite fun seeing how everybody does. A quick second on my end, I need to pull up the chat because I OBS updates like every time we do a stream, and then and then I lose my chat function for some reason. But let me to pull up the chat really quickly. I did notice we did have some fine folks joining us here for the start. We're currently looking at our calendar here. Um, as previously mentioned, we are racing in Jeddah here today. 2 weeks ago, we raced in Australia, a fantastically crazy race. I mean, you can attest to it, buddy. That was an absolutely bonkers race to watch. We did upload that to our YouTube channel, so for those of you who are interested in watching the carnage that unfolded those weeks ago, please go check us out there. Our racers absolutely love watching support as well, of course, from the fans. But yes, very crazy race. I'm expecting. I think we get that same craziness this week, Money. I don't know what you think here. Obviously, hopefully not, but it makes for a good show. Got it. And I do want to make sure, Money, that you're coming through the desktop audio actually. Uh, desktop audio actually.
Yeah, let me take a look here. Pull
Uh,
up the stream.
here we go.
Yeah, I can hear it on stream, so we're all good on the audio side. Ahab, welcome into the commentator booth here. We were just going over the team principles. Of course, your team principal of Red Bull and V-Carb. We have Mini B-Man at Mercedes, Mr. Boss at McLaren. Aston Martin has Grumpy Dad, wishing him and his family good health. Alpine unfortunately does not have a team principal. So Rebel is going to be kind of on his own tonight. Navik is also going to be missing this evening's race event. Prosk at Williams, myself with Ferrari and Haas, and of course our awesome commentator Hero at Kick Sauber.
Yes, I'm quite excited to see the race here. We do have a total of, let's see, checking the check-in right now. We should have about 17 drivers here, from my understanding. Ahab, once again, thank you for joining us here in the commentators booth. It's been quite some time, I think, since I've gotten the pleasure of speaking with you. How are you feeling today?
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Sorry, I had to switch to push to talk, I guess, but it's all good. No, I feel great. It's another great Sunday, and I'm really excited to see all these guys race.
Yes, absolutely. But before I go into the track stats, I do want to once again point out the calendar to all of our wonderful viewers here today. Once again, we're racing in Jeddah today. Next week, we have Miami, followed by Great Britain. That is 3 races, 3 back-to-back weeks of racing, which will be fantastic. It'll be very entertaining. I'm expecting Miami to kind of mix it up a bit in between Jeddah and Great Britain. Jeddah, of course, as many of us may have heard, is the fastest racetrack on average So that'll be quite fun. And then we, of course, go to quite a different track, Miami instead, where we have to rely a lot on the Sector 3 straight for overtaking. But nonetheless, Sector 1 and Sector 2 have quite a bit of reliance on overall race pace. And then ultimately, we round off with the wonderful Silverstone, which of course has its Sector 2 straight, but a lot of overtaking opportunities throughout that entire track, of course, throughout Sector 1 and Sector 3 as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, additionally, actually, I forgot to add, excuse me, Great Britain will also have a sprint included, so it'll be our first sprint race of the calendar here in the 3-week carnage we're about to experience here. But with that said, folks, allow me to show the Jeddah Corniche circuit here. I do apologize. Canva does not have like a long oval, so I had to do a rectangle here for the high-speed snake section. But with that said, let's go over some general track information, as I always love to do. The location is in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, along the Red Sea coastline. And as the name says at the top there, it is the Jeddah Corniche Circuit is the circuit name. Opened in 2021 and receiving an upgrade, actually. Money and Ahab, I don't know if you guys have seen the upgrade, but it's actually going to have like an up ramp into the air. It's pretty crazy
Oh,
looking. Um, I'm not sure if you
yeah,
guys
I
are
haven't
aware of
seen anything. Have you seen anything about that, Ahab?
No, no, I have not seen anything.
I hope I wasn't scammed, but I'm pretty sure they're updating it where I think it's the same circuit layout, but there's just that huge elevation change going into turn 27. It's very, very interesting. I'm very curious if it's gonna. I mean, it's getting built from my understanding, so we'll see when that gets done. The designer for this circuit is our wonderful Herman Tilk. The track length is about 6.174 kilometers or 3.8 miles. We have 27 corners, a lot of corners on this one, despite how fast the average speed is. We have 16 left-handers, 11 right-handers, and it's about a 10-meter elevation change, which I think mostly occurs on Spoon, which is turn 13 right there, so nothing too crazy. Now, the average speeds that I keep mentioning are of average of 250 kilometers per hour, which I did not actually write what the conversion would be there, so give me a quick second. So the conversion for that is 155 miles per hour. Can you imagine going that fast so consistently throughout this circuit? I'm not sure if many of you folks remember Behrman's very first ever race in the Ferrari, which I believe was about 2 years ago. He jumped in as a reserve driver after Sainz got his appendix removed, and
And he
it's very
scored points.
and he scored points. Yes, my goat finished 7th place, I believe. And if you guys watch the onboard, it's really funny watching his neck slowly give out throughout the entire race. So if that's anything to attest to how crazy this corner can be, or corner, excuse me, this track can be. Going into that, though, let's go into our sectors here. Or, you know what, before I go into our wonderful sector overview here, Money Ahab, I'm kind of curious what you guys think about the Jeddah circuit as more consistent drivers compared to me. We can start with you, Money.
Yeah, I love the circuit. It is one of my favorites, but of course I have been quite fond of commentating with you in the booth. So we're giving that a shot tonight instead. One of my favorite circuits in the calendar, and honestly, I know a lot of people don't like some of the corners, but I think it's a very, very underrated track by some. Of course, we have a lot of big fans about it too. Ahab, what do you think about the track?
I'm a certified lover of this track. This is an excellent track. I can't wait to see any improvements they make to this track because I already love it so much, and I actually have a lot of faith in the designers and the keepers of this. I like Spoon, like you said, in the elevation change, taking that at a high speed, pushing the track to the high limits. It's just a super exciting track. I mean, you can't get much more exciting wheel to wheel racing next to the walls through these high speed chicanes and turns. It's exciting.
Of course, I 100% agree with that. It's very
That's
intense
absolutely
racing.
right. And we do have somebody in the chat, Don Hero, saying, let's go back to racing. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're super excited. I think that is Hero in the chat. Is that you?
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
What?
I'm
I
very
wonder how I figured that out.
You got
no, 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 no. It's a different guy. Hey, dude, that's crazy. You have Hero in the last video you made too. I do 100% agree with the both of you. Very, very fun. Ahab, especially with your wheel-to-wheel racing comment there as well. Honestly, with the walls all around you. It makes passing feel much more intense than I think it may typically feel like. So it is a very fun circuit to overtake. We've seen a lot of overtaking, fantastic overtaking, I'll emphasize, here in Jeddah in IRL. IRL racing. Piastri had his fantastic dive on Leclerc in turn 22. I mean, that was just an absolutely beautiful overtake from Piastri. I believe that occurred last season. So really, really good racing across the board. Uh, but with that said, let's do a super quick sector overview here, ladies and gentlemen, as we're still waiting for our drivers to join the quick second, join the session. Sector 1 here are which is T1 through T12 here. Very, very fast. It's probably the scariest section of the entire racetrack here. We start off with a massive braking zone into a very tight 1-2 hairpin. That is the main hairpin right there. Before we go into a nice soft little left-hander in turn 3. That straight between turn 3 and turn 4 is deceptively small. So don't expect a lot of overtaking there, except from our most brave drivers here, because turn 4 itself is also a very, very difficult overtaking turn, though it is possible. It is a sharp left-hander that goes into a very, very rapid sweeping right-hander. And as you enter turn 4, you enter what is referred to as the high-speed snake section, which you guys will see in the actual, which you guys will see uh, in, sorry, the chat's throwing me off, in the actual race here. Very, very high speed, turn 5 through 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You almost, I don't think you ever let off the throttle fully. You control the throttle a lot through this zone, but it's very, very quick and it's very, very punishing. There's actually, coming out of turn 8, going into turn 9, there's a sausage curve that you can bottom out on. And if you're going too fast, you actually become almost like a rail gun and you will shoot straight into the wall. So it could get a little dangerous here. Coming out of turn 10, though, you hit 11 and 12, which is a nice soft little right left-hander. And then the turn 12 into turn 13 straight does offer opportunities. But as we go into turn 13, that enters sector 2. Which has the spoon turn, a lot of overtaking opportunity here, a lot of banking. I think cars can realistically go 3 wide, though whether we'll see that will be up for debate, of course. Um, Coming out of turn 13, we'll hit another strong overtaking opportunity through turn 14. Before we hit turns 15, 16, and 17, it's a very awkward, sharp right-hander into kind of a long left-hander. A lot of opportunity to lose the car here. So I'm going to be very curious to see how our drivers handle this area. And then once we hit turn 18, 19, 20, 21, we also hit our first DRS detection zone. We'll be seeing, I think, a majority of our overtaking happening in this area right here. But as mentioned, as we enter into sector 3, turn 22 here, it's a very, very fast, I mean, absolutely rapid left-hander here, which we may see overtaking. It's a very aggressive overtaking point that leads to a lot of show. You know, it's very, it's a, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a very aggressive place to overtake. We'll be quite entertained if we see anything there today. Turns 22, 23, 24, though, kind of shoot around into this very nice soft left-hander, very long left-hander, which also has our second DRS detection zone here. We'll be most likely once again seeing a lot of overtaking here before we hit the heaviest braking zone in this entire circuit, turn 27, which is rightfully dubbed the last chance. Not really, of course, but it is a very, very popular overtaking zone, of course. And then we hit our final DRS detection zone, zone 3 here. And then shooting through that, we go through the start-finish line, and we start the lap again. So very, very fun race here. As I mentioned, kind of the main overtaking zones are turn 1, the main hairpin, turn 13, spoon, turn 22, which is a little aggressive, but it is possible, and then turn 27 as our kind of primary overtaking zones. Of course, I have no doubt in my mind that we will be seeing our drivers here overtaking abnormal areas. So I'm quite excited to see what occurs here. But with that said, I believe we're still loading into the session here at the moment, waiting for a few more drivers. So I'd like to thank everybody for your patience. I kind of want to. How much time do you think we still have running here? I kind of want to go through the. I kind of want to go through the teams real quick.
Yeah, let's go through them. Let's go through them. It'll give people a couple extra minutes to get in, and I love going through the teams, honestly.
Yes, it's very fun. The graphics are very nice. And on the point of graphics, Ahab, the first two teams I will be showing off here are Red Bull and VCarb. So I'll allow you to represent these folks here, starting off with the Red Bull team.
I can hardly represent such excellent drivers such as Mac and Despy, both two top 10 big hitters. I'm really excited to see them throughout the season. I mean, everyone's excited to see them last season. We're really focused on just making sure we deliver a clean, competitive race for everybody to enjoy. So we're excited to be out there and being consistent and looking for that race win.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the next team, we have the VCarb team, who Ahab is
They're
also.
actually,
Oh,
I think we should also just go through who's actually racing tonight. So I think we will be having Despy and as the full-time driver, of course, but Mac will be out. So FIFA Teddy is going to be stepping in for Mac tonight. It looks like Despy has not joined in yet. Um, Maybe you could send him a message here, Ahab, just see how that's going, and then we can go over VCarb now.
all right, going over VCarb here. So
So yeah.
for VCarb, who are going to be our drivers for today, man?
Of course, so we do have our full-time drivers, Samad and JMO. JM, excuse me, JM is actually out this evening, so Samad will be driving, and then I don't believe we have another VCarb driver tonight, unfortunately.
Very unfortunate there. Nonetheless, Jam has been JMO, excuse me, a fantastic driver for those of you who saw him in Australia. Very, very fun to watch. I'm sure Samad will put on quite a show for us. But moving on, we have Haas here, who we will have one replacement for. Um, from my understanding, Cecizo is not able to join us, correct, Mike?
Yes, that is correct.
So
Yep.
Cecizo will not be joining us and is going to be replaced here by R2D2 or Deranged Ara as the driver here. We will have Hatfield, who is our LMU driver of the server, as our full-time driver here in Haas. He gave us quite a showing as well in Australia. Huge collision moment between him and Prosk. Very, very entertaining, to be quite frank with you. But hopefully, for both of those drivers' sakes and for both of the races' sakes, we of course don't see anything like that today. And moving on into Ferrari here, Money, I'll let you introduce these folks.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, I'm one of the full-time drivers. I am stepping away tonight to give some of our reserves a chance to drive. Reimer, of course, also the other full-time driver for D1 Ferrari, also out tonight. So tonight we have Weck Dragon stepping up from Division 2, and also stepping up from Division 2 is Cubic. And so, yeah, we have both of those drivers stepping up tonight, and hopefully they can score the Scuderia some good points.
Absolutely quite excited to see how those guys do here today. Moving on to Kick. This is my team here. Very excited to see these guys drive. I do apologize to both of these gentlemen publicly, though, because I've been out on a work trip all week. I haven't had any time to really practice or talk with them. So I do apologize to you both, but I'm quite excited to see them. We have Foco Enna and Papatism, who has changed his name to
Wicked
uh,
Sticks.
Wicked Sticks now. So do you see or do you anticipate that that name change there? Papatism is Wicked Sticks. I do have to update that in our imagery here. But moving on, we have Williams here, who does not have any reserve driver replacements today. So we will be seeing Prosk here coming back with quite a vengeance after his Australia performance. And of course, we will have Elliott slash Carrot G here in the Williams car, who is always a very entertaining driver to watch. He's quite good, but I think he lacks that consistency. I think out of all the drivers from last race, I remember him fluctuating the most along the positions. So I'm curious to see if he'll bring more of a consistent pace to this race, and if we'll maybe see him as a top 8, top 5 driver. Money, I'll allow you to introduce here the Alpine and the Aston Martin team after these games.
Yeah, absolutely. So for two full-time drivers, we do have Rebel, who's racing with us tonight, and Navik. Unfortunately, Navik will be out tonight, so we will have MTS or Ulysses setting in that seat. And then for Aston, I don't believe we actually, unfortunately, have any Aston drivers tonight. But that is going to be Grumpy Dad's team. That's going to be Harold and GDB for the full-time drivers there.
So if you are watching this stream, we do allow reserve drivers to fill missing roles here. So if you are interested in racing with us, opportunities like this are fantastic for drivers who are trying to make a name for themselves. Um, so in this case, you would replace, or not replace, but just for the race, you would temporarily step in for Harold and GDB, and you would race to represent the Aston Martin team. Once again, if you guys are interested, please join our server. We're also looking into expanding into other motorsports as well, such as Le Mans Ultimate with GT3, LMP2, and hypercar racing. But with that said, let's look at our McLaren team here. Who I don't believe has any replacements here today. We will be seeing No Cap and Mr. Boss. Mr. Boss was not practiced, he said, in quite some time, a month, I believe he specifically said. So we're going to have to see how he does here today. I'm still quite excited to see Mr. Boss race. He's nonetheless a fantastic driver, and I believe No Cap is making it correct. I don't think I saw him saying
He's in, I believe.
he is in. All right.
Yeah, he is in.
Quite excited to see No Cap here as well, representing the McLaren team. And then, last but not least, here we have the Mercedes team. I believe once again both drivers are going to be joining us here today. We have Rassam and Mini B Man, both fantastic drivers. Again, very aggressive and great race from both of them in Australia. So I'm very curious to see how they're going to put their rubber to the tarmac here in Jeddah. But with that said, as we're still waiting for some of our drivers to load in properly, do you guys have any podium predictions this race?
You want me to give you the non-bias approach? I mean, it's hard for. What do you want me to?
Yeah, I gotta sit that one out.
I don't know what to say. I'm not going to root for somebody else, but I'm not going to curse my drivers. So, I think there's going to be some great looking people on the podium.
Good, good answer. Good answer. Great looking people on the podium. I do agree. I think we're gonna have some fantastic looking people on the podium here today. If I had to take a gander, then, as the only semi-unbiased source, I've been doing this long enough, I think. Uh, I think we're gonna really be seeing a fight between Reimer, or was Reimer? Oh shoot, I don't remember if Reimer is gone. He better not be gone. I'm gonna cry.
Reimer's gone.
No,
Reimer's
Reimer's
gone.
in. No, he's in.
Reimer is out tonight.
No, he said he was
out.
in. No, that liar. I was going to say Reimer in my podium here, but I still have some fantastic drivers here. Honestly, it's going to be a great battle here between Rebel, I'm going to say Samad, and Cubics, I believe, are going to be our top three drivers. Not that I think they're the only ones capable of the podium here, but we have seen, I'm going to say, Samad's fantastic pace in the previous season. Rebel, of course, also one of our final four finishers last season as well. Definitely something to keep out for. And Cubics, who I'm choosing here, due to his fantastic showcase that he had in Australia as a completely new driver. So I'm pretty excited to see what he's going to be capable of doing here. Now, if I had to put a number to where these guys are going to finish, I'm gonna put Rebel first, Cubic second, and I'm gonna say Samad is third. So that'll be my top three prediction here. We're currently on board with FIFA Teddy, who was our first outlap driver here in Saudi.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and put some fucking respect in the chat here. Rebel P1, Boss P2, and I'm gonna say Rassam, or Rassam or Samad P3.
Wow. I think it's 2025, and I think it's a McLaren 1-2.
Yeah, McLaren 1-2.
This is a No Cap, Boss, Rebel, Samad type race, and then the alternative is Samad wins it, obviously. So, might be 2025. Kind of feels like it.
It's okay to be wrong, guys. It's okay. That's why we're here to have a good time. Do apologize. I had to do some off-stream stuff. We're currently once again on board with Fifth of Teddy's. He's coming up into turn 27 here. Last chance. Swinging around the outside. Good turn if you ask me here. I'm lagging. I don't think I'm lagging, but the frames are notable here at the moment for me, if you guys can see. He's crossing the finish line right now. DRS is active. He's going to be our first outlap of the session. Coming up onto turn 1, turn 2. Very aggressive turn there. As he almost swung the rear there coming into turn 1.
Ooh.
Gassing through turn 3, coming up into turn 4 now. Very aggressive left-handers, I previously mentioned here, folks. Nice little wide right-hander into a nice little wide left-hander. And here comes the railgun. Misses the sausage curve, does not suscept himself to pain there. Hits, let's see, turn 10 now, coming up onto 12, passing 12, excuse me. Now hitting turn 13, spoon here. Very aggressive braking there. Good,
a lot of battery.
Speed. A lot of battery. I do agree with that assessment here. He is saving quite a bit of battery now. I don't blame him here. The backside of this track is very, very fast. You can gain a lot of time or lose a lot of time depending on your exit of turn 17, 18, which we did see him go through a little bit ago. He's coming up into turn 21, about to hit turn 22 now here. Very aggressive left-hander. Had to let off the throttle there to regain control of the car. Shoots through turn 24, coming up into turn 25. Now this is the back end DRS straight here. As you guys can see,
I think it's safe to say that this won't be FIFA Teddy's best lap by far. He's made a couple of mistakes on this one, and just based off what I saw in Division 2 this evening, I'll expect a lot more from him. Yeah, 128.5, an awesome lap, but I still think he has an easy 3/10 on there.
All right, I'm excited to see that. Let's jump on to roll around here. Mr. Boss at 127.916. Despy follows through at 129.111 for Despy here, who I'm sure has a lot more pace. I actually just noticed here that we're in a full qualifying session, Money. We're currently in Q1 at the moment. Was that intended?
No, so I think it does just say qualifying one. I think we're fine.
Okay.
I think you might be also
as Cubic actually goes P2, just 600ths behind Mr. Boss. Holy cow.
That's a nice time.
That is a very nice time. Very, very close to Mr. Boss here. I'm telling you, I think Cubic's got a podium.
Oh, Hatfield's on his lap here.
Let's jump on board here with Hatfield, our LMU representative here. He's currently coming up onto the last chance turn here. Now, I am aware that Hatfield has begun racing LMP2 and hypercars in LMU, so I'm very curious now is if Rebel in the Alpine of 127.749, 2/10 quicker than Mr. Boss and Cubic's, Hatfield moves up into a 130.136 here.
Yeah, you can never count Rebel out. He always says, "Oh, I'm washed up. I haven't been racing," and then he smashes times by 2.5 tenths. Incredible job, or 1.5 tenths.
It's nice time.
Currently on board here with Prosk, who just shot through turn 16. They're very, very aggressive. Fantastic use of track limits here. I will apologize to the viewers once again. You guys can kind of see my frame rate a little bit with all the lights. Jeddah is a pretty aggressive track for that reason, unfortunately. But it shouldn't really affect how we see the majority. And Elliott, ladies and gentlemen, Elliott is out of the session here at DNF.
DNF right in front of Prosk.
Yes. Prosk is completely out of battery coming up into turn 27 as well here. Tried to gain as much as he could, using it all out on the exit here. And very curious as to what may have occurred with Elliott. I didn't see any debris on the field.
Oh my gosh, Prosk, a 128.1 with what has to be a mismanaged battery.
I agree. I agree. I think that was a mismanaged battery there. I think we might see maybe a whole second still from Prosk here. So I'm very curious how that's going to be. Does anybody know what happened to Elliott here? He left the session entirely, actually.
No, I don't see anything.
Unfortunately, I did not see anything.
We're currently on board here with Weck Dragon here, who had a fantastic first-time race here in PSRL in Australia, which resulted in a very, very sad excuse me, very, very sad DNF finish, I believe. So I'm sure he's quite excited to see good results from himself, and of course show off for the Ferrari team here. I just heard somebody follow. I don't see it pop up on my stream. Thank you very much for whoever followed. Thank you for joining us here today.
Here comes the
Absolutely.
time.
Who was it?
Oh, darn. I thought I'd do a little better than that. Samad just went over the line for a 28-0. It and P4.
Yep. Yep. Another driver I think has a lot more time to lay out there. Really interesting to see how the next like 10 minutes unfolds, of course, but especially the last few minutes, some of these drivers really, really push the time limit there on the end of qualifying.
Absolutely. Trying to find, I mean, around this track, this lateral grip that you can get late in the qualifying session really turns into a lot here. These guys can really shave off that extra. I mean, look at how close these times are now. And I think once everyone goes out again, you're going to see these chopped down even more.
I agree. While we were discussing there as well, MTS moved up into second position. We have an Alpine 1-2 at the moment. The Alpine's only separated by a little under a tenth of a second here. I'm curious if we're going to be seeing some Alpine domination possibly. MTS FTRG. I forgot what his Discord name was.
That is Ulysses.
Ulysses. I forgot that MTS or Ulysses had actually a very, very strong showing in Australia. So I kind of am regretting my top three choices at the moment, actually. But we'll see if all works out. Currently on board with Mini B-Man in the Mercedes here. I believe he accidentally disqualified a few of his laps. We're currently on board with him here as he almost touches the wall there coming out of turn 18. Fantastic use of track limits. Really tried utilizing the Ferrari's slipstream there, almost rear-ending it from what I can tell in the broadcast angle. Coming up into turn 22. Maybe I'll race one of these days, fellas. Should I race in Miami? That's actually a terrible track to decide to race in. I'm not.
No, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. I will commentate. Ahab can join me. If we want to swap over here, it looks like Rassam is actually starting their lap here. Rassam, of course, one of our awesome drivers that has finished and won quite a few of our races last year or last season. Focoina actually making it into the pits, jumping into the car at the last moment. Mini B-Man jumping up 127.788. Incredible time.
Fantastic drive. We were on board with him here on stream. We saw him absolutely maximize track limits there. I mean, holy. Whew. Oh my goodness.
What an incredible showing of devotion of time. He had an incredible show in Division 2 as well, but bravo. Just wow.
First guy to set a second lap on soft tires, and he nails it. That's excellent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's jump over here to...
so Focoina is in, and then we do have Rassam on their out lap, looking to improve on their 1:47 time here. Looking like they're gonna actually improve quite a bit.
No Cap should be finally logging in a time here. He's about to round the final corner.
Yeah, Rassam entering the final corner here. See what they do across the line.
Oh, No Cap moving up into first. A 127.545. We haven't seen this guy in like a few races. And he shows up and he puts the fastest time on track here. Fantastic drive from No Cap.
Oh my goodness.
Here. We're seeing a lot of times move around here, folks. I'm quite surprised here. Cubics moves up in the third position here as we're talking. 127.773. We're starting to watch pedal to the metal here at the moment.
If we just take a look at P2 through P5 here, they're all within 0.04 of a second. Incredible showing of times here. And then, of course, No Cap just smashing after coming back and being absent and dealing with injuries. Incredible showing at a 127.5. What do you guys have any updates for what you think the podium's going to be?
I don't know anymore, dude. Actually, hold on. I'm not sure. I don't believe that's Samad's best time, of course, as we mentioned at the start. In fact, I'm very surprised he hasn't put in another lap time yet, as far as I'm aware here.
Looks
But
like
I'm
he's out on his lap now.
at the moment. All right. I'm currently on board with Prosk here, who I believe is ahead of Samad. So I'll finish off. Prosk is on board here. He's coming up to turn
Pause.
27.
Close.
But
Oh, as Samad actually goes off track.
very unfortunate moment there.
Oh my goodness.
Samad clearly
One
must
of the
be.
Red Bulls. One of the Red Bulls passing Samad had to take a little bit of an action there. Wonder if that will be reported to the stewards and what they might say. Of course, Ahab, I know he's saying, no, 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 we didn't see nothing.
I definitely didn't see anything, but I'll definitely, review everything my drivers do, of course.
We have one of the Red Bulls actually off track on turn 22 there. I did not see who that was. And that seemed to be Fifitetti there. Fifitetti off track on turn 22. No immediately clear damage from what I could see. Very curious as to what may have occurred there. We're currently watching Emisay Samad here kind of swing out of turn 27, actually. He didn't have complete grip there, and he actually dives into the pit lanes. Samad, ladies and gentlemen, is diving into the pit lanes despite having full battery. So very, very interesting. Um, Now, since this is a short qualifying session, there is only 18 minutes in total. There will not be a Q2 or Q3 after this, so our drivers are going to be wanting to put in the best lap times they can right now, and we'll have to see what they do. Currently on board on my end here with MTS FGRG as he comes up to turn 27. He is one of the few to watch here for a podium, or excuse me, a pole position. So I'm very curious, and MTS swings really wide into turn 27. I'm curious if he was trying to get some drag speed there. That might be a very interesting strategy. I've never seen something like that. Have you guys ever done something like that? Purposely set yourself up for like a drag race start? It was very interesting.
Yeah, just elongating the corner, giving himself a longer straightaway to gain to top speed faster.
Yeah, very,
Although
very
he did it a little strange, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I've done that by accident, but I've never thought about purposely trying to do it for qualifying. And MTS loses the car coming out of turn 10, touching the curb, losing both front wings. Super unfortunate from MTS here. Massive, massive moment there. Very, very unfortunate. He was probably one of the few individuals who could have challenged for a podium here, or I keep saying podium, pole position here. And it's just, that's just how Jeddah is. You try to push the track, and those curves will punish you, man.
Does a good job getting out of the way and being aware of traffic around him, and then circulating back in.
Let's see, who else is on an outlap here right now?
It's like Weck Dragon here.
Weck Dragon has just started his lap, yeah. And then a couple different drivers. But yeah, an awesome showing here. I'm gonna be very blunt. I don't know if anybody can touch that pole position there. I don't know if No Cap can beat that position. That's an incredible time.
I have to agree. That is a very rapid time. He's pretty much 2/10 faster than the next guy. I mean, if No Cap's able to hold his starting position here, and maybe can find time to pull away from Rebel, he might be able to take the win here. But of course, the world is not perfect, and we'll have to see how the race starts here.
Yeah, absolutely. With 2 minutes left in qualifying, anything can happen. I mean, Samad down at a 128. He's finally getting in that extra lap. Deranged at a 128, almost flat. Boss is on his out lap. MTS, I don't think is going to be able to set another lap, but we also have Mini B-Man, Rassam, Cubics, Rebel. I mean, there's a lot of people that can go for this right now.
100% agree.
And I mean, I hate to forget about a few of these drivers, but Prost, Despy, Fifitetti, I mean, all of these drivers can also challenge it. They're not too far behind.
Weck moving up into sixth position, a 127.877. We were on board to see that here. I'm a little surprised, honestly, I think, by our top like 8 drivers here, quite frankly. Of course, we've seen Prosk and Despy and Samad, typically net up in the top positions. So seeing them out of role there is, I think, just a testament to how much these guys are taking this seriously right now. I mean, once again, Cubics, Rasan, WEC, MTS, all new drivers here in the top 8 for us. So very, very entertaining, very, very fantastic to see. And currently on board with MSA Samad as he shoots through Spoon, very, very close to the wall through Spoon, centimeters away. Fantastic use of track limits, though. I don't really know if that's the ideal line, but that was very scary to onboard there. Coming up to turn 16 here, using a little bit of curve there through turn 17 now, coming up onto our DRS detection zone 2 here as he activates it. I'm very curious to see if MSA Samada will be able to get a time. Rebel does decide to retire from the session. Coco Enna now retires from the session as well. I'm not too sure what strategy we are going to be seeing out here. What do you guys think? Is it going to be dominant hard, dominant mediums?
I'm not
Dominant hard.
sure. From what we saw in the Division 2 race, I think a hard tire is going to be very, very effective. However, of course, on the race start, people tend to go with those softer compositions.
MSA
127.2.
Samad.
We were on
Oh my
board for
gosh, he
that.
says put some respect on his name as deranged aura actually hits the curb and goes off the track, almost colliding with the wall. Definitely ruin his chances at potentially even a top 10 start with Prost, Despy, and FIFA Teddy closely behind him.
Currently on board with Mini B-Man. We were on board for MSA Samad's absolutely gorgeous lap there. I mean, we saw him abuse how close he could get to the wall. A lot of his corners there, millimeters away from the wall. I mean, absolutely fantastic driving on board with Mini B-Man. And he overshoots the corner going through turn 23 and invalidates his lap. And one of the few challengers
Boss
possibly.
going across the line here. Up in a P2 with a 127.3. Incredible laps by our top. As Prost hits a 127.4. Oh my gosh, it just keeps getting better.
Put some respect on my name, they said. Oh, we watch MSA Samad and Prosk absolutely showcase here their capabilities. A 127.2, 127.3, and 127.4 here. And then a 5 right after. We have a 2, 3, 4, 5 here in the top 4. Very pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, fantastic. And I don't mean to brag at all, guys, but I think I know my drivers here. Rebel's the only one that was out, and he did actually retire a little early. I think he had a mistake on his lap, and if he didn't, I think he had a good chance at potentially getting into the podium, if not pole position.
Now,
it looks like several people finding lots of time here at the end.
Yes, very, very impressive. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to inform you our top 13 drivers are all within a second of each other. Our top 8 drivers are all within half a second of each other. I mean, this is going to be an incredibly close race. I'm super excited here. Oh my gosh. I mean, what a what a quality showcase here. I mean, look at the gap times here, ladies and gentlemen, between all of our drivers. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is going to be a race here for the ages here. Very curious as to what occurred with Elliott and the Williams there. We did see him on screen with Prosk disappear from track as he DNF'd, I guess, or he left the session. Did he rejoin the session, Money?
I'm not sure. I did send him another invite.
Okay, hopefully we do have Elliott in the Williams rejoin us. We did see him leave the session after what seemed to be a collision with the wall. I'm unsure if he maybe had some wheel issues here, but I mean, ladies and gentlemen, fantastic here. I mean, I'm flabbergasted. I don't know about you two, but what a showcase.
Yeah, absolutely. With 2 minutes to go here, I'm going to ask this again. I mean, I feel like this is our favorite question to ask. Predictions. Ahab, who do you think is going to be your top finishing driver between your both Red Bull and your V-Carb drivers as well?
I can't be talking like this. Who's gonna?
Welcome to interviews, my friend.
I'll tell you what. Samad always looks extremely well composed, especially when he's dropping lap times better than everybody else. Especially when he's going out late, knowing how much he can improve. I mean, he kind of muttered around for a little bit and then really I mean, just went right off the rails of the track. I mean, that I hadn't seen anyone swoop around that corner that fast in a while. So that was really cool to watch. I like Smart a lot. Obviously, to stay composed, and as long as he stays clean, he should come out with a clean win. And then I don't know. Both my Red Bull drivers, Pipatetti, excellent D2 Racing Bulls driver. He's always very scrappy, gets through everything very well. He's going to do well throughout the pack. And then Despy, of course, again, maybe cleanest driver on the grid. So maybe the easiest race for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with that lap, I think it's going to be very hard to take it away from the VCARB driver. However, I do have a lot of hope for the McLarens for a little comeback this season in PSRL. Hero, what do you think?
Shoot. In terms of my top three, I mean, after the performance MSA Samad gave, I have to give him the number one. I mean, MSA Samad last season was, for all intents and purposes, I believe, our number one driver. Unfortunately, missing out on the opportunity to be the season champion just due to some timing issues, quite frankly. I think he's one of the few drivers that could have given season 13 champion Reimer a run for his money. So I do anticipate him getting pole or podium number one here. Followed by, I think I actually have to give Rebel my second position. Uh, I have some thoughts on No Cap and Prosk. Now they are obviously fantastic drivers here, absolutely crushing qualifying. But we've seen both of these drivers be the victims of unfortunate events, and I'm not one to bet against Lady Luck, being a guy who believes in luck
Wow.
as I am. So I'll have to see if maybe Prosk and No Cap can control their fate here today. We're currently in our formation lap, and then for my third place, I think Mr. Boss is going to have to round out my top three here. Um, I mean, MSA Samad, Rebel, and Mr. Boss have shown blatant consistency throughout the many seasons that or the many races that I've gotten to see here, and I'm honestly even not sure about that. To be quite frank with you, I don't really know. If I had to lock one in, I'm gonna say Samad, but I honestly don't know about 2 and 3.
Yeah, the beyond first place, how could you even? How could you? I mean, Boss might be a solid P2. I have to believe that these guys are all going to try to put their finger in the pot here. I mean, there's no way.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I don't know. I hate to be just a broken record player here, but Rebel, he's got some of the best racecraft, and he's super smart. He's been doing this for years. I wouldn't count him out from even winning the race, let alone a podium's definitely no question. Very possible for him. But I'm excited to see what the McLaren drivers do. Of course, Cubic behind in P6 is going to be attacking. Same thing with Rassam and Mini B-Man. Both very aggressive drivers. Mini B-Man excelling a lot and increasing his skills and his racecraft too.
100% agree. Ladies and gentlemen, our formation lap. MSA Samad in the VCARB first place. Mr. Boss in the McLaren second place. Prosk in the Williams third place. No Cap in the McLaren fourth place. Rebel in the Alpine fifth place. Cubics in the Ferrari sixth place. Rassam in the Mercedes seventh place. Mini B-Man Mercedes as well eighth place. Weck Dragon ninth place in the Ferrari. MTS FGRG 10th place in the Alpine. Fifitetti 11th place in the Red Bull. Deranged Aura in the Haas 12th place. Despy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the Red Bull 13th place. Focoena in the Mean Green Kick Machine here 14th place. Hatfield, our LMU driver 15th place. Wicked Sticks or Papatism 16th place. And Elliott 17th place in the Williams here. Ladies and gentlemen, Ahab, would you like to start us off here once the lights come up, actually, since you are our guest here?
I'm sorry. Can you sit next the next time? I apologize. I have to step away.
Money, please take it. Please take the lights.
Yeah, absolutely here. So lights are going up. 5 lights are up, and here we go for our race start. MSA Smod actually spinning his tires. Boss getting a good launch, but still sticking behind. A lot of fighting here as Prost takes up into P2. Mr. Boss just a 10th behind. Rebel a 10th behind. No Cap 2/10. Cubics a big fight here for fucking, excuse me, for the podium. No Cap falling back a spot, but of course Rebel, like I said, off the rip, gaining a position, gaining a second position now as Prosk actually falls back 2 spots. Cold tires probably being a really tough issue for him to deal with,
The
falling
whole
into
pack
P7.
doing such a great job. I mean, what an amazing race start. I see anybody make severe contact at all. Don't know. Oh,
I
as the yellow flag comes out, that was a
I
great
join.
start.
Oh God! I join on board with Cubics here as he loses the rear of the car coming out of turn 13, almost loses it going through turn 16 here, and Wet Dragon gets a move. The safety or the yellow flag there was due to Cubics losing excessive speed there. In terms of damage, gentlemen, I actually saw some wing damage in between. Oh my God!
Oh.
Cubics going for an inside dive on his teammate in the Ferrari. We make a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact there. Cubics moves up into 10th position. Very aggressive maneuver there. Wet Dragon not trying to make a move back there. What a very aggressive move in turn 22.
What a place to overtake. What a place to go side by side.
Yeah, as team principal, I'm definitely sweating in my boots here, or shaking in my boots, I guess is the saying. But if we take a look at the P2 and P1 fight here, Samad is almost a second ahead, and Rebel is almost a second behind now.
Huge contact into T1. Huge contact into T1, ladies and gentlemen. Despy, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
Despy hooked on to one of the Haas cars, I believe, swung himself into the wall, and ended up taking out most of the field behind him. Prost gains a 10-second penalty. We have a car pileup. We have a car pileup coming into turn 6. I'm sorry for the hype. There's a lot happening here. Prost gets another 10-second penalty. And we have a full virtual safety car.
Penalties.
We have another full virtual safety car. Ladies and gentlemen, we just saw essentially.
Sticks gets a 10-second penalty as well.
Oh my goodness.
There's 4 10-second penalties that just got distributed for contact.
We just saw.
Yeah, and so I'll go through all of these here. We got Prost, 2 10-second time penalties for a total of 20 seconds. Elliott with 10 seconds. Wicked Sticks with 10 seconds. And MTS with 10 seconds as well. It's going to be really hard for any of these drivers to finish in the top 10 now. Of course, I don't know if it's a virtual safety car or full course.
Virtual safety car.
Gotcha. But yeah, it looks like right now we have Samad, of course, trying to fight and keep this gap here, but Boss is going to be closely behind, followed by Rebel and No Cap. Rassam and Mini B-Man holding down for Mercedes. FIFA Teddy actually coming up into P7 after Cubics, Weck, and Despy are doing some fighting.
I would like to report here, I just went through the top. All the drivers starting from 8th below, almost all of them except 3 of them have some type of wing damage. I mean, what we just saw, ladies and gentlemen, and we're back to racing conditions. We're back to racing conditions here.
And Despy's in the pits.
What we just witnessed there, folks, was 2 separate car pileups. One going into T1 and then one coming out of what looked like T6 there. Absolutely insane situation. Super unfortunate for a lot of these drivers, obviously. I mean, half of them weren't even involved in it. They were victims, essentially, that just happened to stumble on completely still cars on one of the fastest portions of this track. Super unfortunate here. We are watching a lot of these drivers serve their time penalties. I'm curious if maybe a future safety car will maybe be able to switch up what we're watching right now. But I do agree with you, Money. I believe that a lot of these drivers may be cursed, essentially, for the rest of the race here.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, like we always say, anything can happen. You never know. Some of these drivers just have incredible race pace. So, you know, even if they're down 30 seconds, it's possible that they can get that back. We'll just have to see with time.
This is where the season points really come into play. I mean, this is where you climb back and get a top 10 and get your points and move on to the next week.
We just had our top 3 drivers set back-to-back times here as Rassam actually sets the next time we're watching. Mini B-Man go up and around the outside coming into turn 1 of No Cap. Oh, very close here. Almost some contact. No Cap managing to successfully defend the position here with some very tight corner driving here. Currently watching Rassam hound the back of this McLaren. He's going to have to be careful, though. This dirty air coming out of the back of No Cap may ruin his ability to go through the high-speed corners here, and we're actually watching quite a masterful display here as Rassam successfully manages to get through the high-speed snake and stays behind the McLaren car.
That was excellent. You don't see clean wheel to wheel like that through turn 1, 2 very often.
No,
A lot of respect between these guys, and obviously Rassam is now just going to chill, collect himself, and strike again here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the stewards might have a week ahead of themselves going into this triple header with, of course, Jeddah starting us off. We'll have Miami next week, and then cap us off with Great Britain in a sprint. A lot of these drivers did have to replace their wings here as well, as we see huge gaps on times besides the top 3.
Yes, as I previously mentioned, everybody below 8th position at the restart of that virtual safety car, except pretty much 3 or maybe 2 about 3 drivers, seemed to have some kind of wing damage. It was a pretty crazy, unfortunate series of events there. A lot of wheel hooking is what seemed to have occurred there. From T1, what occurred there was between a Red Bull driver and a Haas driver, I believe. I may be misremembering, but essentially a wheel hook. And then coming out of turn 6, I can only assume also a wheel hook scenario. Wheel hooking in this game is a pretty serious thing to occur. It's almost a guaranteed death sentence for all involved. Because even when you wheel hook somebody, if you tried to get out of it, they're already moving across you. It's like it's too little, too late if you get to that point. Currently on board here with Rebel, who's 0.4 seconds behind Mr. Boss here. Mr. Boss, who actually managed to close the gap on MSA Samad as well. Just a lap ago, Samad was 1.1 seconds ahead of Mr. Boss, and he's lost that time. And we're currently watching Rebel very rapidly gain on the cars ahead here. We're going to be watching a bit of a masterful gambit between the top 3 drivers. I mean, these guys are in a league of their own. The top 3 drivers are all they're 3 seconds ahead of the rest of the grid here right
now. These guys are camped up pretty good. I mean, just eating up DRS, making sure they stay within each other.
We actually saw Rebel coming out of turn 27 there, lose the rear of the car. Mr. Boss going for an outside maneuver, DRS, and huge lockup from MSA Samad there, isn't able to fight for the position back. Mr. Boss will keep the position. Rebel almost losing the rear of the car again coming out of turn 2 here. Rebel really struggling right now with rear grip control. Of course, that's probably not assisted by the fact that he's behind 2 cars dealing with very hot air, very dirty air. He actually taps the wall going into turn 6, I believe, and Mr. Boss now almost a full second ahead of MSA Samad here. I'm very curious if MSA Samad maybe picked up some type of wing damage now. He's losing time very rapidly, and I don't see any distinct wing damage, so I'm wondering what may have happened here. Rebel once again almost losing the car coming out of turn 17 there, touches the curb a little bit. Thankfully, he does have DRS advantage, slipstream, and battery here. I do believe we're going to be seeing a turn 27 fight between both of these drivers. And Rebel overshooting, overshooting turn 23, had too much speed. Definitely picked up the track limits at that moment there. I'm not sure if you guys are watching any other fights here. I'm seeing Rassam very close to the back of No Cap here. Let's jump over here as No Cap defending the inside. Rassam trying to sneak around the outside, going for a switchback maneuver here. Doesn't have anything, but he will have DRS advantage as they come up into T1 here.
He's blasting that battery. He wants it here.
Rassam moving around the outside. This may be a simple DRS overtake. No Cap does not decide to fight for it going into T1. A little bit of a lockup there from Rassam. And Rassam, ladies and gentlemen, moving up into 4th position here. And now has quite a chase down here for the top 3 drivers.
And our first pit enjoyer here, a Ferrari.
He actually has wing damage. I believe Cubics had to pit because of wing damage.
Yep, you see that front wing come right off. No tires. Oops.
What a hectic race here today, folks. Oh, I don't know how you guys are feeling. I mean, that was a very intense, like, lap 3. My chest is kind of pounding right now.
Yeah, it was all good until half the wheels fell off. Our top 9 are mostly unaffected, breezing through.
Currently on board here with Mini B-Man, who's very closely followed by Weck Dragon here. Both of these drivers in the Mercedes and the Ferrari very rapidly closing in on the Red Bull driver. Mini B-Man closing the gap to half a second here, no doubt in my mind. We have a spin out, ladies and gentlemen, in T1. I see one of the kick sabbers here off to the side of the road. I have to assume it's Wicked Sticks here by the time game that's occurring right now. Seems like he's back up to full speed conditions. Unsure if there's any type of damage on his persons at the moment.
B-Man's starting to suck up to FIFA Teddy here.
Yes, very closely. It looks like Wicked Sticks does have some kind of wing damage. We did see MTS overtake Wicked Sticks in our timesheet here. Let's throw in some tire data. And we see a lot of medium tires, actually. Pretty much all medium tires in our top 10 drivers here at the moment. So very interesting to see this strategy. Of course, everybody that has hard tires on were pretty much victims of the double car pileup that occurred lap 4 of our race here. So very curious to see how those gentlemen will be able to change their fate as we continue to move into the Jeddah race.
It looks like Cubics did swap onto the hard tires when he swapped his wing, which I think, if he can make these last, is going to pay off really good against a lot of these broken strategies right now.
I do agree, Money. I'm not sure if you've seen any other mayhem occur here. We're currently on board as Embassy Samad actually gets a pass done on Mr. Boss there. I wasn't expecting that to occur. Rebel trying to move around the outside, coming up to turn 27 here, side by side, wheel to wheel here. Rebel trying to go for a switchback here, sets himself up very nicely behind the McLaren, and I'm curious if he's going to be able to outspeed him, but it doesn't look like it. Mr. Boss using a lot of battery here.
And yeah, I think he wanted that third party so bad.
Hatfield, ladies and gentlemen, in the back, coming out of turn 13, I believe he had a major spin out coming out of Spoon, and I don't see any distinct wing damage, so very lucky for Hatfield. But unfortunate moment for his race there. MSA Samad, the top 3 drivers are back to the original starting positions I just noticed here. MSA Samad leading the herd, followed by Mr. Boss and then Rebel here. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Let's jump over to Weck Dragon. Elliott gets a 3-second time penalty for excessive track limits here. A lot of carnage happening right now. I'm not sure what to expect here. Currently on board with Rebel in the Alpine here as he follows Mr. Boss through turn 16.
Anyone on a normal strategy should be pitting here relatively soon, either this lap or the next. You're going to see these medium tires come off. See No Cap falling away from Rassam.
We do have Prosk pitting now as well. Prosk was one of our unfortunate victims of the pileup that occurred earlier. I'm curious if he maybe received some wing damage because I'm aware that he put on hard tires actually. So very interesting to have occurred right there. Mini B-Man moving around the outside of Fifth Teddy, maybe having 3 cars go wide coming up here soon enough. No, they all decided to shuffle behind Fifth Teddy here, going through turn 17. Let's jump onto the onboard here of Weck Dragon as they're starting to sprint through the start line, finish straight here. Weck Dragon falling very quickly behind Mini B-Man as Mini B-Man shows a fake into T1. Fifth Teddy does not take the bait, and Fifth Teddy will continue to hold on to 6th position here. Fantastic defending here from Fifth Teddy. He's been able to hold both of these drivers back now for about 3 laps as far as I'm aware.
They've certainly been grouped up for quite some time now and don't seem very intent on breaking it. No Cap lost another half second to Rassam in that lap, about 3/10 actually. Rassam maintaining decently well to the lead pack.
Yes, Rassam has managed to close the gap that was originally 3 seconds when No Cap was in fourth position. Mini B-Man making a
Yeah,
move.
FIFA Teddy and Mini B-Man fighting here pretty aggressively. Mini B-Man being very careful throughout the entirety of this race, but FIFA Teddy having a moment, giving the door wide open to Mini B-Man as Weck Dragon is fighting closely behind.
Welcome back, Money. Good catch here on the fight here. I'm curious, did you see if Mini B-Man actually hit the rear of the Red Bull there?
I was on board with the Weck Dragon Ferrari here, and I did not see any contact, but I could be mistaken. Of course, the stewards would take a look if there was any issues reported by the drivers, but I think it was clean pass.
Oh, and there goes the leaders pitting.
All three of the leaders following each other into the pit lane here. We currently have both of these drivers still defending. FIFA Teddy defending the inside, going back onto the racing line here. It's very clear. Honestly, FIFA Teddy's defending here has been astounding to me here so far, making the pass back on Mini B-Man and managing to hold both of these drivers behind him.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers coming out into traffic here, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Of course, No Cap falling behind the Haas driver Aura, but Rebel, Boss, Samad all ending up in the same positions here, heading into the second stint.
Yeah, they didn't pick anything up at all. I see. Was Rebel on the hard tires? It says he's on the mediums now.
He
I
was
think
on
he's
medium.
going medium, medium, hard, or maybe just medium. Well, no.
He'll have another pit stop.
He will have
Yeah.
another pit stop, yes.
Or maybe he never pit stopped. Let's
No,
take a look here.
He did pit stop, yes. So all the leaders followed each other into the pit lane here. It's very
Yeah,
clear
just
that
one stop. Yep.
And they were all on mediums.
yes, it looks like Rebel's going for the two-stop. I'm curious how his strategy is going to work out. Money, seeing as you've had some racing experience, a little more than I have in F1, how do you think that's going to work out?
Honestly, I think he's taking a risk and a gamble for a late safety car around like lap 18 or 19, just so he can swap onto some fresh softs, possibly. That's the only thing I can really see here if he truly did start on those mediums. As we see a lot of these other drivers falling back and Boss Samad and Rebel passing Rassam. No
Boss has
Cap
made that
jumping
move.
up past Aura here.
Yep, and Boss has made that move around Smod.
Yes, currently on board with Mr. Boss. Mr. Boss did make that move. He's currently now behind Mini B-Man here. These drivers are, for all intents and purposes, not in this title race here. Mini B-Man still defending a little bit, going into turn 13 side by side here. Very unfortunate for MSA Samad, who will be slowed down by both drivers here at the moment. Mr. Boss will have the fantastic opportunity to use a little bit of slipstream as he tries to move around the Ferrari here. Very interesting strategy from Weck Dragon and Mini B-Man. They're on 12 lap old mediums at this point now.
Really stretching them. They did have one lap on the safety car. Maybe they feel pretty good for them.
Currently watching some very hard racing here. Rebel, a lot of speed as he shoots the gap in between the Ferrari and the B car, moving up into second position. A fantastic overtake from Rebel as he moves up into second position. Unreal
Wow.
a move right there. Unfortunately, MSA Samad and Weck Dragon were fighting going into turn 23, 24, and it seems like that heavily compromised them. Unfortunately for Rebel, he does not have DRS, though. MSA Samad may be able to fight back, and no, MSA Samad is not able to make a move. But unfortunately for Rebel and MSA Samad, that lap traffic, for all intents and purposes here, has given Mr. Boss a 1.3 second gap now. This is exactly the opportunity that Mr. Boss has no doubt been waiting for.
Yeah, Mr. Boss cut through that traffic so much better than these guys. Rebel obviously taking great advantage. I mean, that's the kind of risk you feel like he felt like he had to take on those medium tires. He needed to get ahead, get this delta, extended, catch up to Boss, hopefully. I think this is his plan, and, he went all in, and it paid off.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, Mini B-Man and the Ferraris are fighting, going through the high-speed snake here. Oh my goodness, a lot of carnage here as we have Cubics taking advantage of the situation, moving up past Mini B-Man and Wek Dragon. I think Cubics, Mini B-Man, and Wek Dragon were going side by side through many of those corners. Mini B-Man and Wek Dragon, unfortunately, overshooting turns 9 and 10, and that allowed Cubics the opportunity to shoot his way through. But unfortunately for Cubics, Mini B-Man and Wek Dragon will have much fresher tires than him, and we're going to have to see how Cubics is able to defend Mini B-Man at least, and maybe give his partner Wek Dragon here the opportunity to catch up and make some time. How do you feel here so far, Money? I'm not sure if you saw that Ferrari fight, but is that something you want your drivers to be doing right now? I'm unsure where Money may have gone.
Sorry, what'd you say there? It was cutting out.
Sorry about that. I was saying how the Ferrari drivers were fighting each other coming out of the pit lanes through the high-speed snake section, almost colliding, actually. I'm not sure if you've been watching the fight here, but very, very intense, actually. I believe Wek Dragon may have damaged
Yeah,
it,
hopefully these drivers can keep it safe. Of course, with all of the action in the first couple laps and just just first couple laps. I don't think there was anything after maybe lap 3, but hopefully everybody can keep it safe and finish all in one piece.
Of course, so very unfortunately here, I just noticed on one of the Ferrari drivers here, Wek Dragon does have left front plate damage here. He is going to have severely compromised downforce capabilities as he tries to move through the high-speed snake section. So super, super unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. He's had a fantastic race here so far today. We are currently watching, jump down here to watch Prosk and MTS FGRG fighting here. MTS did manage to get a move done on Prosk, and I don't know if Prosk is going to get close enough to make a counter move here as MTS moves up into 3rd position, or 13th position.
Yeah, if you asked me to guess the bottom 7, I don't think I could have done that.
Yeah, a lot of unfortunate moments this race.
Yeah. Never would have seen these guys. Of course, this field is pretty stacked, so it really just could just be anybody. Everyone's victim of circumstance, so.
Side by side, Hatfield and Elliott here coming up into turn 13. It seems like Hatfield losing out on the position as Elliott goes for an inside dive and a spoon. And no, I'm not seeing Hatfield gaining enough speed here to make a counter move. He will have the advantage of DRS if he's able to hold himself through turns 16, 17 here. Losing a fair amount of time, but I believe he did get DRS nonetheless here. Activating DRS. Gaining very, very rapidly on the Williams car here ahead. Fantastic dives in turn 22 here. And we're starting to see a lot of our drivers split up here. The gaps between all of these guys are really starting to widen out. Hatfield closing the gap very, very rapidly on the Williams driver here ahead. Very hard braking going into turn 27. That may have compromised some exit speed there, unfortunately.
Yes, with the fastest lap.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Is that what I missed it? Did MTS get the and Hatfield losing the rear of the car going into T1? A huge moment there. Thankfully, no immediate victims nearby. As he actually gets hit with a little bit of lap traffic. I believe that's our leaders right there. As Mr. Boss Rebel and MSA Samad shoot past him. Oh my gosh, did he defend that? Are they ghosted? Oh my gosh. Are cars ghosted now if they're back markers or no?
They should not be.
I don't think so. I don't think there's any ghosting enabled. So if there are back markers, they definitely need to move out of the way.
We may have seen a very unfortunate moment. Hatfield blocking up, not blocking, I guess. He did have his right of way. But he did compromise, I'm going to say, Samad's ability to go through turn 4. That did compromise a little bit of time, but clearly not enough as he manages to reclose the gap to Rebel within a second here.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job just hanging on to Rebel, hanging on to that DRS. He definitely probably had a bit of a moment worrying about, oh no, I'm going to be out of range, but he seemed to close it up pretty good. A little low on battery, but to be able to do okay. And Rebel was doing a little better here. He's kind of lost a few tenths on Boss. Boss seems to be pretty locked in.
Yes, Mr. Boss has found his groove. That lap traffic essentially for Mini B-Man and Wet Dragon gave him all the opportunity he needed. We're on board with Deranged Aura here as he follows Focolena through turn 16, 17 here. It seems to me that Deranged Aura may have fresher tires than Focolena. Yes, 3 laps fresher tires here as he's using Slipstream, using DRS in the back sectors here, hitting turn 22 now. Touches the wall there. Big moment. Didn't see any type of loss there. No front wing damage from what I can tell, thankfully. And Deranged Aura very, very rapidly, once again, closing the gap. Focolena goes for a defensive maneuver, blocking turn 27. Very, very deep defensive dive here. Deranged Aura did get a better exit, and Deranged Aura will be moving up into 11th position here. Hatfield gets a 3-second time penalty for excessive track limits. We're not
Yeah,
seeing...
now we're seeing the only 2 drivers with the current penalties standing are Elliott and Hatfield, and P15 and 16 respectively. And effectively, those penalties won't matter. So I can see why they might be taking those at this point.
I know a few of these drivers have a couple of warnings pocketed already. Lap 17 out of 25, you expect maybe you'll see a few of those pop up. I know I saw Rassam cut a corner quite extensively, so I know he's got something pocketed there.
I just realized, folks, that Cubics and Wet Dragon are on the same team, both completely new drivers this season. Very cool to see 2 fresh young drivers driving together here. It seems to me that Wet Dragon may be taking advantage of Cubics as a DRS slipstream opportunity. Wet Dragon does have notable damages. He actually goes for a dive through turn 27 here. Cubics going very, very wide through turn 27. I wonder if he was giving up that position willingly. And Wet Dragon, ladies and gentlemen, moves up into 8th position here. Cubics not really offering too much of a fight here. And despite the front wing damage that Weck has, it's clear that he has quite some pace left to give here. So very impressive driving here from Weck. Currently on board now with Deranged Aura, who's been making his way through the field past Focolena earlier. Now he's sniffing the rear of the Red Bull that Despy's in at the moment.
Not quite sure what happened to the pack after the pit stop between FIFA, Mini B-Man, and Weck, but it seemed to all separate quite a bit. FIFA's actually climbing right up to no cap, I think. On 1 lap newer tires here, he might actually have him by the end of this.
I'm very curious as to what Rebel's strategy is here with the double pit stop. I don't think it's going to work now at this point. We currently have Deranged Aura, though, a foot away here from Despy. Very clear to me that Rebel hitting now to make up for his... Uh-oh.
Yeah, you can see him hop on the softs, you have to believe. Maybe, yep, there they are.
Yeah, he is hopping onto the softs here. Just 6 laps to go.
I mean, he unfortunately did not have much of a choice there. As one of you two mentioned, I believe he was really relying on a safety car, and unfortunately that just did not happen. As No Cap, ladies and gentlemen, lost the car. T1 as we see him rapidly drop down into 6th position there. Very unfortunate moment. I did not see exactly what happened, but I did see it light up on my map here. Deranged Aura making an outside move coming up with T1.
Teddy sliding into P4. It's only temporary.
Ladies and gentlemen, No Cap has right wing damage. He has severe right wing damage. Super unfortunate here from No Cap as he locks up his front left now as well. Mini B-Man making a move through the inside coming through turn 13. Very unfortunate there. What do you guys think about Rebel's strategy here? I mean, obviously this is going to be the... Oh my gosh!
I think Rebel's going to drive the rubber right off these little softs. That's what I think.
Yeah. Holy cow. I mean, I don't know. With these guys being on 8-lap old hards, I mean, they are kind of in that sweet spot at the moment. But with the softs brand new, I mean, it's going to be really tough.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit of time to overcome.
I do 100% agree with you. I mean, obviously, our top 2 drivers are rapid, and even with soft tires, I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to make up anything. In fact, I believe he may have even thrown himself out of a podium here. But fantastic move. Rebel's done 2 threading needle maneuvers in the back straights there. Fantastic driving from Rebel. Clearly, I think if I have to say driver of the day, I have to give it to Rebel only because of his 2 passes so far. I mean, really, really good driving from Rebel. Very, very aggressive despite how narrow this track is.
Yeah, I expect Rebel to be setting the fastest lap coming here soon. And I'll tell you that Samad is running about 131s, 132s. If you see Rebel, maybe crack 129, maybe last 5 laps, but I don't know. You have to think he's just looking for that podium.
Of course, no cap retires from the session, ladies and gentlemen. Super, super unfortunate for this McLaren team here. They lose one of their drivers entirely. No cap. A full safety car, actually. There's a full safety car.
Wow.
No cap must have
No
crashed.
way.
Did no cap crash?
Oh, Despy immediately capitalizing and is already on the softs.
Let's see if we see any tire. Mr. Boss, a 10-second penalty for severe collision with Elliott. This could be huge for this race. That is so unfortunate. Mr. Boss throwing on a fresh set of softs here. Rebel absolutely got his wish and moves up in the first place with soft tires.
Goodness.
Oh my gosh. What a
Played out just perfectly for him.
I mean, he's
Couldn't have rode it
definitely
better.
extremely upset because now these guys got fresh softs, lap newer, right on his butt. Wish he just held out and pitted, but lap 21 out of 25, he'd be shooting himself if he didn't do this. So, I mean, he's loving it at the moment, but he's also kind of kicking himself a little bit.
I don't know if we. Do you guys think we finished under safety car? I unfortunately missed. Elliott has been disqualified from the session. Ladies and gentlemen, our Williams driver, Elliott, or Carrot G, has been disqualified from the session due to ignoring yellow flag conditions. Now, the game can be a little silly. We have seen it before, so that may not have been obviously Elliott willingly doing anything outside of the game, thinking that he did something. So very unfortunate for Elliott there. Hopefully, of course, it was in fact the game, but nonetheless, it does still hurt to see, obviously.
A lot of drivers trying to get to the back of the grid right now. Were we under virtual, are we?
No, full safety.
Yeah, so a lot of these drivers should be trying to get to the back here. These gaps hopefully should be closing in here soon. There we go. Mini Beeman is now on the loose, so.
I do apologize to my viewers. I don't know why, but I'm having that exhaust glitch again. I really wish I could get rid of the exhaust fan or whatever that's supposed to be.
Kind of interesting though. It just looks like it's really, really, really hot.
Well, that's the dirty. It's the dirty air, dude.
Yeah.
The worst thing you could see.
I feel terrible for Mr. Boss. At this point right now, if the race ended at this moment, he would fall down to 6th position now, or maybe even further, actually.
Yeah, he wants this thing to start last lap. Like he needs this to get going so he can get some gap on these guys.
It seemed to me that Elliott was going into the pit lane under safety car. I didn't see what occurred, but if I had to take a guess, Elliott was going to the pit lane under safety car, and Mr. Boss was trying to maximize his pit lane entry and possibly just rear-ended him, trying to stop the car. So super unfortunate there. I don't see any distinct damage on Mr. Boss. He does actually. Mr. Boss is missing his front right end plate, so that is in fact what happened. Or I would be willing to bet my house that's what happened there. Super unfortunate for Mr. Boss, man. I mean, clearly a contender for first place, obviously. It's gone now. He was a whole 1.5 seconds ahead from Rebel and MSA Samad. Rebel, who had obviously pitted, and is now reaping the rewards. Now, unfortunately for Rebel, though, he is going to be on older softs, which could compromise the race start at least for him. Do you guys have any predictions on how this may play out now?
No, I really don't. Sorry, I was watching Despy. I'm really confused. I don't know if he's having any gear problem or not. He's just running around in fourth gear. I'm confused. Anyway, predictions for the final of this, man, I have no idea. These guys were all right on it. Now you've got everybody, I mean, right next to each other as far as top three. I mean, Rebel's going to fight for this. Boss is going to fight for this. And Samad just is going to hope he could find a gap in between both of them, I think. You have to imagine it's between those three.
100% agree. Money, any takes on when they occur here? I believe we may see Mr. Boss down to possibly even 8th position due to the time penalty he received.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I'm not too sure here. This is going to be a really tough finish for all of these drivers. But again, not to toot my own horn too much here, but I did say Rebel has that potential to come out with the win, and coming up for positions, he's now in the lead.
That's true. That's very true. Rebel did very, very accurately predict a safety car that, for all intents and purposes, should not have occurred. I'm incredibly curious as to what occurred with No Cap. Now, with all respect to No Cap, we have seen this happen many times. He'll have a major moment and he will retire from the race. So it may be possible that Rebel saw that and capitalized it. With how I know No Cap as a driver, I would say 90% of the times that he has a major error like that, he will retire from the race. Very unfortunate, of course, that occurs. But again, I'm curious if Rebel was maybe aware of that happening and took advantage of the situation.
Yeah, definitely a very unfortunate moment there.
And this P3 is going to be interesting. I think it's for sure Rassam. FIFA and Mini B are really looking for it, I think.
These drivers are all very packed up right now, too, at the moment. It might go down to a last lap, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, we've been cycling around for quite a bit. I mean, this is going to get nasty if it stays out.
It'd be a real shame for this race to finish under safety car conditions, of course. And as I say that, ladies and gentlemen, race control, safety cars in this lap, we will have 2 laps of racing.
Yeah, and Rebel bunches up the whole field. You already know what it is. He wants it to be back there. He wants 1 lap. He's going to shoot it. He's going to be gone.
God, we're about to see some collisions happen, dude. He's bunching it up very aggressively. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're currently watching our drivers come up to turn 27 here. What a fantastic broadcast angle. Just look at that group over there. And I think Rebel is taking us back to race conditions here. Mr. Boss fantastically reading the restart there. I mean, couldn't have asked for a better restart prediction. Oh my gosh, we have quite a line here coming up into T1 now. I don't see any immediate overtaking opportunities that can occur, though.
I think he did a good job trying to disrupt the field. Oh, there goes a spin.
MSA Samad gets rear-ended by Mini B-Man in the Mercedes, and he falls down into 8th position. Super, super unfortunate there. Huge, huge situation there that will absolutely be getting reviewed by the stewards. Unfortunately, Mini B-Man now has front wing damage. And ladies and gentlemen, our top 3 may be getting fully disrupted here. Rebel will maybe possibly run away with this money with a fantastic prediction here.
And there goes Rassam falling multiple places. I think he got caught up in the mess and got overshot.
Very, very unfortunate there. It seemed like Mini B-Man just unfortunately it looked like he locked up and hit the rear of MSA Samad. Hatfield, 10-second penalty for ignoring blue flag conditions. Super unfortunate. You are given, I think, 3 corners before you have to give up the position there. That, of course, will not really be affecting his race all too much, quite frankly. But nonetheless, a unfortunate moment. Ladies and gentlemen, Weck the Dragon, or Weck Dragon here. What a fantastic race here from Weck Dragon, if you ask me. I mean, very unfortunate in the beginning. had contact with his teammate, lost his right end plate, and he's now up to 5th position here and possibly in contention for maybe even a podium if he's able to get past Fifitetti and threaten Mini B-Man here a little bit.
Yeah, B-Man took that restart. I mean, probably better than anyone else. Oh, and Boss. Oh, what is he? Did he overtake Rebel?
Boss overtakes Rebel here. I think he's going to try to gain as much time as he can now.
Oh my God!
Rebel
He said,
didn't.
"See ya."
Yeah, I mean Rebel very intelligently not fighting that at all. Obviously,
Yeah, yeah. He says, "Not my race. You can have it. Get your places. Get out of my way." B-Man's doing a great job.
Oh, it seems like Wicked Sticks in the back there lost his rear tires, losing it coming out of the chicane there. Very unfortunate moment there for the Kick Sauber driver here. Cubix making a move up into 7th position past MSA Samad. I'm very curious if Samad has any kind of wing damage now at this point. He also may be very strongly shaken up, of course, from what occurred, and I do see right end plate damage there on MSA Samad. Super, super unfortunate for that driver. Obviously, we've seen a fantastic race from Samad, and for all of it to come down to the restart, man, I mean, that just kills you sometimes as a driver.
B-Man's completely out of battery, and FIFA just head full. He blasted off the top after having a DRS moment. So I think, as he loses it, as he slides through the turn here, but he's got a lot of battery left. I think FIFA's going to have a good chance here at the last turn. Blows right past him.
Oof, I thought Weck was going to shoot the gap right there. A little bit of fighting between Mini B-Man and Weck Dragon here. Oh, almost some contact.
Fighting to the line.
Mr. Boss, another 10-second time penalty.
Run served.
Gosh.
No.
He had to serve that? I didn't know that's how that worked. 20-second time penalty.
Yeah, very unfortunate events for the McLaren drivers. Of course, I know Rebel is happy, of course, pulling out that race win, starting P5, but Red Bull should be happy with Teddy finishing P2.
I'm pumping my fist for my boy.
Fantastic drive.
I mean, we saw, I was saying that Weck Dragon deserve, or oh shoot, I already forgot who I claimed my driver of the day, but we did see some fantastic driving from Fifitetti. Great defending from Mini B-Man and Weck Dragon. I will say though, that collision with MSA Samad at the start may cost Mini B-Man a podium, quite frankly. I don't think Mini. Oh man, that was a very blatant and unfortunate situation that occurred there. Ladies and gentlemen, our top 3 finishers, though, unofficially at the moment, we have Rebel in the Alpine. Fantastic race. Great prediction from Money here. Big brain. I don't know what else to say there. He managed to predict a safety car at the very end. And then Fifitetti with a fantastic drive himself. We saw some great defending from Fifitetti, defending off Mini B-Man, defending off Weck Dragon, taking advantage of this final safety car, finishing in 2nd position. And of course, Mini B-Man himself, who did have a great race, but did have a very, very major moment there with MSA Samad. So we're going to just have to see how the stewards respond to that there. But gentlemen, I hope you guys had a great time, because I know I was quite entertained this race.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great race. Very entertaining. Of course, we had a lot of action, a lot of really unfortunate moments, but overall, of course, everybody loves action while they tune in, and stewards might have a tough week ahead of them.
Yeah, certainly a very dynamic race. I mean, a lot of contact between a multitude of different people throughout that one. I mean, it's not just a couple people.
Yeah, very drama-filled race. I'd argue that the contacts that occurred this race carried a little more weight than they did in Australia. I'm going to be quite honest. I'm still extremely flabbergasted by that super unfortunate Mini B-Man and MSA Samad collision there into T1. Money, you took it though. Rebel first place, I believe. Of course, I think me and Ahab predicted MSA Samad, and unfortunately, Samad finished 8th or 7th.
Yep.
Super unfortunate. Did you guys see who the driver of the day was, though? I'm curious.
I can pull it up here. Give me just a moment.
Yes, if you could. I'm very curious what the stats are. Um, I mean, I think we had a few guys, Wek Dragon, Fifitetti, of course, Rebel, fantastic race. There's a few guys that I think I'd give driver of the day to. If I had to choose one, now that the race is fully completed, I think I have to give it to Fifitetti. Fantastic drives from start to finish. We saw some great defending from him. Defended two entire drivers for quite some laps, and then finished second place in the podium. Ahab, congratulations as well to that. I believe this is the Red Bull's first podium since at least I've been commentating, from what I remember. So great race for your team.
You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely. And FIFA Teddy was driver of the day, by the way.
as he should be. What an excellent drive.
Yeah, incredible.
I'm
I'm
so
not
happy
sure.
he did it in a Red Bull.
Starting in P11, by the way.
Yeah.
P11 seconds. What
Yeah.
a drive.
What a
And
guy.
Mini B-Man, P8 to P3. I know stewards might have something different to say at the end of the day, but still a great drive from him. And of course, to toot my own horn here with our Ferrari driver P9 up into P4 as a Division 2 driver in Division 1. Wek Dragon did an amazing job.
I don't know how to turn off my streamer mode. I can't see who the titles are here. Super. I'm currently in the paddock, over listening some of the drivers here. We have some flared tensions. Mr. Boss here, very unhappy with the contact with Elliott that occurred. Um, we have some apologizing here to MSA Samad. Uh, it seems like Mini B Man was not actually the contact. I do apologize to Mini B Man. I totally thought that was you. It seems like that was actually Rassam. Rassam rear-ended MSA Samad, and he's admitting to it. So on my end, I do apologize once again, Mini B Man. I did think that was you. It seemed like that was Rassam. Super unfortunate. Uh, good
That's racing.
heavens. That is
That's
race.
racing. I
That
mean,
is.
we're all bunched up. I mean, you have something's got to give, and someone's got to be on the receiving end of some kinetic energy. So
Yes, there were some high tensions here. Of course, to all of our drivers, though, that is just racing. We're very glad to have you guys here. I mean, it's always very entertaining, and that's kind of part of the racing. I don't know about you guys, but a little bit of flair, a little bit of the trash talk always livens it up a little bit. But of course, respectfully and with love with each other, um, and the understanding that we're all here to have a good time. But I don't believe we prepared any interviews for today, so I do apologize to our folks watching. We will try to get some interviews for Miami, but nonetheless, Money, Ahab, thank you very much for joining me in the booth here today. It was fantastic having you both here. Any last thoughts from either one of you?
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to Ahab. Thank you for joining us tonight. Of course, shout out to all of our drivers that did show up. Shout out to the few that we did miss here. Unfortunately, a few of our full-time drivers weren't able to attend. But great race from everyone. Of course, going into Miami, the focus will be keeping everything clean and just improving our racecraft and making the right decisions throughout the race. Ahab?
thank you, Money. Thank you, Hero. Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. It's just a absolute amazing race every time we watch, and every time we get the opportunity to commentate these guys. I mean, just do everything and keep everything on the table throughout the whole race. It's really exciting, and like you said, really excited to pack it up and roll it out next week.
Yes, man, it will be an absolute blast. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, allow me to remind you of our race winners here. We have Revel, fantastic strategy. He actually said that his strategy got messed up by the game, so this wasn't even intentional, and it absolutely worked out for him. Followed by Fifth Teddy, our first Red Bull podium that I've personally seen. Fantastic, great shout out to the Red Bull team and Fifth Teddy as well for driver of the day. And then and not least, a Mini B-Man who did not actually cause the collision and may still be able to hold on to his podium finish. So great drive from all podium drivers, taking absolute advantage of the situation. And with that said, please tune in for Miami next week. That is June 7th. Quite excited to see everybody join us for that race. I'm very excited to see a lot of these drivers. If Jeddah was anything to show for it, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of action in Miami. But with that said, I once again have been your host, Wild Hero, joined by Money, the merchant, our director of motorsport, and Captain Ahab, the principal for B-Carb and Red Bull. Bye-bye, guys.
See you later.
Right.